How are you guys doing today? My name is Bertrand Usher, and this is Cyber Entertainment. And today I got the group together, and we're going to be discussing an article that was recently posted on CNN.com. The title of this article is CNN Blocked from White House Press Briefings. Essentially, what this article is talking about is how the Trump administration had decided to just stop. They essentially just stopped letting CNN ask questions towards President Trump after the recent fiasco, to where they essentially were asking very, very, very. Well, what would you call the question they were asking him, President Trump, during the last cycle where he was asking questions?
They were difficult questions. He wanted easy questions.
He wanted easy questions. So yeah, essentially what happened was the Trump administration got tired of that and they blocked CNN. But this issue, whether or not you're liberal or conservative, leads to a huge problem. Essentially, it asks, how far should the media go when it comes to the president's business? And should the media have an overall say? And should the media be clearly involved in what the president's actions are? And should they always be able to give their opinion and take information from said president's administration? So we have a couple of different opinions on this issue. I, for one, believe that the media does, to an extent, they should, to an extent, have certain information on what the president's doing. However, they shouldn't have all the information. Certain things the president says, certain things the president does, not says, should be kept to himself. The media should not know about this. And to go further on into this conversation, I am also 100% against these officials who are leaking information to the media. I think certain things should be kept within the president's administration for the betterment of our nation. It's just the conservative side of me, stepping out and saying that let the president do what he does. Certain things, as citizens, we don't need to know the answer to. But I'm going to move over the mic to these two individuals here. Please introduce yourself and just state your opinion on the issue.
I'm Joshua, part of Cyber as well. I personally believe that the media kind of has a sort of right to report whatever information you're getting, especially since not a lot of people are making efforts to put that information out there. The public has the right to know that information, but at the same time, the media needs to at least check this information, make sure it's credible, make sure it's accurate. And that's personally what I believe about it.
Hey, what's up? I'm Joe. My view on this topic is that, just like Bertrand, the press definitely should have checks or keep checking the president to make sure he's not doing anything shady. But at the same time, they gotta have an honor system and only, just like what Josh said, put out information that they have credible information on. They can't just spout out just random stuff because it's gonna get attention from the public, or it sounds good, or it's gonna further their agenda or whatever, But what Bertrand said about how there should be some information that's classified, I believe that if but how, like, we gotta, what issues are going to be classified, and would that be up to the discretion of the president, which would be Trump? And if so, do you think Trump will actually keep classified information on certain issues that the public should know about, and how are we going to check that if we don't know? And then I'm going to give it back to Bertrand right now.
So now you guys hear, each of us, we're all college students. We each have our certain opinions on the issue. And while me and Joe may agree on the issue at hand, and me, of course, Josh, will have certain disagreements, I'm going to essentially now play moderator here. I want to counter each of our opinions, including mine, and just see what we'll just say about it. So first, I want to turn to Josh. You said you think the media should be all up in the president's business and they should have their say, and they should they should leak whatever information they can and ask the president whatever information they want. My issue, similar to what Joe said, is this. Don't you think that there should be a limit? Because you have certain things that we probably might not understand. For example, Barack Obama a couple of years ago was talking about TPP and how it's somewhat of a bigger, it's bigger than what the media states it out to be. In his opinion, after reading through the documents, after being explained what the documents state, he thought it would be a great thing for this nation. However, us, from our civilian simpleton mind, without our complex knowledge of politics, we're like, this is terrifying. Do you think the media, and let me just summarize it up, do you think the media can easily convey difficult information to us in a way we can understand it? Because the media might hear certain information that might not sound good in our interests, but the reality of it is the Trump administration has a plethora of information on the issue to know that it's going to be better for us in the future. So, just to summarize it up, do you think the media is good at conveying the correct information towards the public?
Hmm. I have to say, part of me agrees with that. That certain aspects, sometimes the media doesn't present the information in the most helpful way, but the media should be able to talk about this information. That's part of what their job is. And with a president like Donald Trump, who's a very, very eccentric person, who I'm pretty sure, as we've all know and seen from his like tweets, he's a very talkative individual. So you're saying that that the media shouldn't be talking about certain information like that, especially when he himself is willing to talk about very how to find the words for it, when he talks about a lot of different things that probably should keep more to himself.
He's fucking crazy. He's going to say something stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And so, like, you're saying the media shouldn't have the right to talk about some of those things, but at the same time, it's a little bit more complex than that, than what we could probably say or something like that. I don't know. That's all I got right
So
now.
essentially, what I'm getting off of this is you got to know certain things about what the president's going to do because it's probably going to affect you per se.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to move on to Joe right quick here. And Joe, the question is, and ironically, me and you have the same viewpoints, but I'm going to have to counter myself here too.
Yeah, of course.
Should we? This is a democracy. This was set up by the founding fathers to be a nation for the people. Despite the fact that we are a republic, it is in the belief of how America is, ideally. We choose what we want. If we want to know how we're going to, what our tactics are for Syria, we should know. We should know what the tactics are to stop ISIS. We should know when security is going to be increased.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that we should be limited from this free right of knowledge per se?
Of course not. Especially with international relations like that, we should definitely know about that stuff. I was talking, if I guessing your question right, I'm talking the limits should be about I can't think of the right word for it, but
Essentially, the
basically-
limits should be for strict information, which is it should be for, like I said with Josh, it should be information that we wouldn't be able to understand per se.
yes, or maybe not understand, because then we can have them relay that information in a way that we can understand. But I'm more talking about like obviously the what happens with the CIA, most people don't know, but the president is briefed on that, or is supposed to be briefed on that every single day, and that's something that I think we don't really need to know about, because that is classified sensitive information that could harm any operatives that we have in other countries.